welcome to Critical Tumble, where a bunch of longtime friends and internet nerds transcend geography through the power of Discord to play Dungeons and Dragons. And yeah, critically fumble a lot. I think there might have been something along that line, because this gang can even make breakfast a problem. And dinner. As I recall, there was something about an omen gremlin loose in the popcorn shrimp. Well, these guys can make anything entertaining. It's great. Not always good for my blood pressure, depending on who it is they're annoying, but great. Previously, after a somewhat, sort of, it was Pyrrhic and it was mostly a victory. What victory there was Pyrrhic, the rest is just still a problem in Ambir. There's been more or less a genocide. That wasn't expected, but there you have it. But the Protector Azamar were free for a couple of days, I think. So that's something. There were trips to Avernus. There was one of the Five Claws of Bahamut outing himself as an ancient dragon, which meant that the others had to out themselves for various political reasons. And there was the apology tour, which has now finally wrapped up in Agref by by a lunch with Governor Calatiel, which was going really, really well. Briefly. Up until the actual apology part happened, the apology worked fine. Just, Remy took over from Hazel for a while. In fact, they kind of switched places. Seriously, if you guys ever need the Five Claws to turn up to your rescue, Hazel is the main reason that Calatiel will be doing it. I know, that doesn't sound right, but there it is. Calatiel has great sympathy and empathy and bonding with people like Hazel. Best intentions in the world, everlastingly curious, and generally able to withstand all the problems that said curiosity can get them into at times. How are you not seeing the similarities here? Anyway, point is that they did get out of lunch without being made into lunch, and now are outside of the government building trying to figure out how they're going to deal with the rest of their day before a dinner time-ish pickup of one Professor August and apparently her helpmeet Steele. And Cherie, the quintessential secretary, is... I think everybody has various things they need to do at this point. I'm assuming everybody knows the city well enough that if we did split up to get everything done, we could all find our way back here? When if push comes to shove, you get on a trolley. Because let me think. Ava, you needed to...
Fix my weapon?
I'm not sure fix is the word there, but I'll leave that to the experts. Remy, I believe you and Alisaie wanted to speak to this Heskan individual at the Shrine of Paylor. And did anybody else need things done? Because I have a feeling those are going to take some time.
I kind of have to go with Remy and Alisaie.
Oh?
We... Remember that we found the thing in the shrine under the city?
Ah, yes. I thought that was getting lumped in with those two talking about it. But if you want to go to add to that, then that does make sense. Yes.
Mine's really quick, but I wanted to get a tool thing.
Alisaie is every gadget.
Every gadget.
What happened to your other every gadget?
I never had one.
No,
You guys got them.
you had thieves tools. Thieves tools not cutting it anymore.
Well, it was suggested to me. I don't remember by whom, but that the every gadget might be better. So I'd like to have one just in case.
So I mean, that is somewhat true, but I do notice that you're dancing around out of character. You're dancing around the fact that Clarity attempted to throw her thieves' tools to Barnabas and had them plunk in the bottom. So yeah, I'm gonna ask you for a deception check.
Well, no, I got new ones from the tabaxi who was with the
yes, no, that's fair. Okay, never mind.
Just doubling down on the supply.
Every gadgets are cooler anyway, so you could go with Ava.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm not really into shrines, so
No, that's entirely fair. I'm more thinking that pardon the potential insult, but I don't know that I trust most of you to wander around the city on your own.
That's fair. How are we for supplies and potions and such?
I think we still have a. Didn't we get a bunch of samples of ones that don't taste like healing potions? And we haven't been using them. So many of us can heal now that we haven't been using them.
Yeah.
And we were also going to see if we could track down Molly, you said?
Right.
Yep.
So perhaps myself, Rylan, and Barnabas.
That works.
That works.
I mean, Barnabas, you have met this Molly, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, out of character briefly. Once, she told you about Broggan's Big Eats. Which I imagine would have endeared her to Barnabas in perpetuity.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She let me know about Broggan's Big Eats, and still need to thank her.
Yes. We are going to have to discuss what we're going to feed Professor August. I mean, there is always Harley's, but have you all been to the Spearfisher's Revenge yet?
yes.
I didn't.
I think I've been there once.
The name rings a bell.
That
name is familiar.
I mostly recall that Molly mentioned it off the back of Broggan's Big Eats, but you didn't actually go there. You didn't have time. I suppose that will depend on whether or not Professor August approves of seafood.
Mm-hmm.
So, as long as everyone knows where they're going, we meet back here, because the university's not that far from here. Probably around about sunset, given how sunset's relatively early at the moment. We've got
Sounds
a few
good.
hours. I just noticed most of you don't carry timepieces, so holds up her charm bracelet. One of them is a surprisingly small watch. I mean, you guys have clockwork, but you don't generally have the tools necessary to make a working clock about that diameter.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Right.
That's impressive.
we have some very skilled workmen in Ambia, and it helps for me to have actual time.
Of course.
Right, off we go.
See you later.
Okay, we've got 3 groups. Yeah, so we're going to be starting according to Six-Sided Die Hand of Fate with the Palor Brigade, which is probably going to take the longest of all of this because there's a lot to talk about as far as that goes. But yeah, you're at around about the afternoon shift, so when you go into the shrine hasn't changed much. You've still got Swift dusting the individual shrines post noontime devotions. You've still got Peric at the desk by all the where they sell the cleric spell components. Looks up and gives you a. And I take it you're heading straight up to research and development floor. Yeah, when you turn up, you have Gloria, the little gnome receptionist, midway through chewing a bite of sandwich. I perhaps should have chewed that more. Hello to you. How can we help? Sorry, this is my lunch.
We're here to see Heskin.
I shall see if he is available. You always come around the food hours. He is definitely in, and I can be in touch with him to say that he has visitors, if you do not mind that he is currently in the process of putting a sandwich into his face. Okay. Clearly not thrilled about the idea of interrupting Heskin's lunch, but does it anyway. Murmurs into dedicated sending stone, and you don't really hear the exact words from the other end of it, but there's a certain level of grumble. Somebody's not in a great mood. If you'd like to take a seat, he will be with you as soon as he has tidied things a little bit, or maybe just finished his sandwich.
They quietly just moved to doing that.
Yeah, the magazines have actually changed. So the theater magazine is a new one that doesn't have the review of the play anymore. However, one of the fashion magazines is showing that there's a few of you that have been trend-setting. Apparently, large, brightly colored bows are the thing to be wearing at the moment. And scarves. Scarves of various colors. Orange seems to be the popular one.
Listen, I veered into that whole thing where tilting the whole magazine is happening.
And for those with them, horn jewelry has very much picked up in popularity.
To the point where the magazine is now upside down.
How are you reading it like that?
I'm not. I'm confused.
Grab. thank the gods. It shows it to Ree. It's not us.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Although I hate to think what some of the university students are doing. How many of them do you think are trying to make functional wings?
Hmm.
But yeah, we'll have to tell Clarity and Rylan that they're trendsetters too. Just like Hazel. What?
I don't know. That's why.
Well, apparently they think it's cool.
I was not prepared for that. I don't think I ever will be.
Now you know how I feel. You do realize you're going to have to snap out of it to speak to this Hescon guy.
Yep, I know.
Just look at
By
it
the
this.
time we get called in there, I'll probably be fine.
Just look at it this way. Twilly tied that for you, didn't she? Like way back when.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Egref picking up on Twilly's good taste.
Yeah, that's how I'm trying to think about it at this point. Because if I try to think about it any other way,
Can't say the same.
all I get is error.
Can't say the same about the scarf from the horn jewelry, but I mean that could be Barnabas as much as Clarity. You know, they both wear something, don't they?
Yeah. The scarf thing is admittedly kind of hilarious, though.
Well, the from what you guys were saying, they liked it in Ambier, so why not?
It's just... Do we tell the elf?
If they haven't found out themselves, yes. They deserve to hear it from us and not be blindsided by it later.
Yeah. Understandable. I'm just afraid of what telling the elf will do, given how they tend to, well, their alignment seems to be more, chaotic nervous?
Yeah, but I figure coming from us, it'll only be a bit of nervous. Coming from total strangers, the scarf will not just be a fashion accessory for the good-looking elf on the go, but also something to hide in. And then they'd be taking up space meant for Flitty. So
Yeah.
better it come from us.
Entirely fair.
Yeah, Hescon appears in the doorway. Hello to you three. Am I to assume that this is going to happen in my office?
Yes.
Seems, yeah, like the sensible thing to do.
You follow him in, and he's clearly been at work on some kind of project. It's less that he's putting something together jewelry-wise, and more like he's taking something apart, possibly to see, who knows, frankly, with Agriffians, but his work table is a mess of bits, bits and snips of precious metals and a few gems, mostly along the pretty sure emeralds. I'd offer you seats, but there's not for all of you. And Alisaie is, I will stand, I'm fine. There's for these two and for you, that's cool. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming this is an important thing.
Yeah. We're trying. There's a number of bits of news that we need to give, and also a possible artifact of significance to have figured out. But I'm just looking to Alisaie sort of for for a preference sort of thing. If like
And Alisaie is looking at Remy because Remy was the one who had first said we're supposed to be coming here. So clearly Remy has an idea of what order to be taking this into.
I'm assuming you haven't had any news elsewhere from Anbir.
Not from Ambier, no. And I've been a little bit out of the loop of late. I had a message from a friend of mine out where a couple of the rescued protectors were staying. And honestly, what kind of disease would only affect an Aasimar and no one else is not within my wheelhouse. But mostly I've been talking to various of the individuals in and around celestial taxonomy, just on the basis that maybe it's some kind of celestial attacking virus I don't know anything about. Why are you looking at me like this? Why are you looking at me like this?
Not a disease, it's blood magic.
How many are left?
It's 3, right?
Yeah,
Two,
the
three?
the two Scourge and Alisaie.
3.
Hugh Scourgeon.
So if Protector's only one, what about the Fallen?
The ones we've encountered have been turned into errands. En masse.
I have two questions. The first is what? The second is the fuck! And I think that sums up all the rest of them quite nicely!
There was
Yeah.
a cult of Asmodeus within the Scourge Aasimar.
Oh, what?!
It's complicated.
At which point, Hescat has more or less given up at this point. Grabs Hazel by the collar. Simplify it then! Plunk. Back into
We're
the
gonna
chair.
try. Let's start with how much of it was an outright cult and how much of it was an attempt to fight the Sultan taken entirely too far is something we're still figuring out. But what they ended up doing with that blood magic, beyond just killing most of the Aasimar, was funnel the divinity of them into a device, an explosive device, an unstable explosive device.
I've only heard of one group who could make a a device of this type. I am
That's where they got
assuming
the idea from.
The person mostly responsible for the actual device, I believe they're still mortal and not Aaron because they didn't. I don't remember them being an Azamar.
at which point Alisaie is just because they're not Azamar and not Aranese doesn't mean they're mortal or particularly human anymore.
Right, point taken. But the best description we had for them was giggling lunatic, because I'm trying to recall what was the physical description we were given.
Old.
Bald, pale, burn scars. So many burn scars.
Bald,
Most
pale,
of them
and-
on the scalp, hence where most of the hair went.
All very pale and just 90% burn scars.
Alisaie, disguise self. I see. So,
Yeah.
So there is a device, an explosive, filled with the celestial spark from the souls of all of the Azamar Bar 3.
And their plan is something in the vein of use it on whatever they're assuming the source of the soul taint is, or hitting Tiamat with it.
Alisaie is mostly hitting Tiamat with it.
And that, given the tendency of things happening to deities being damaging to the world at large, and also the fact that something with even the constrained output that the group that came up with the original version of this could do, if they use it, they're going to tear another hole in reality. Or several hundred holes in reality. We're not sure what it'll do, but it's going to be bad.
Okay, first thing I will say unto you is that some people may have missed out on the meaning of your last name. I have not. You don't have to keep talking in circles around who made the original of the devices. I know that it was the quick flight diminutives, mostly because they had a steel singer.
Thank you.
And should be Professor Quickflight, but it isn't.
I think she explained why.
Oh, and the
At least.
Sweetwater halfling.
Yeah.
So you come just to tell me this. Not that I am not grateful for hearing it.
While we were chasing after this group and trying to avert part of their plan, they ostensibly let their original leader die and teleported away with the device and the giggling crazy. But while we were down there, we found a very old Order of the Mirage temple vault thing. And it contained, and I'm producing the item.
Yeah, to be fair, it's not even that
This
big.
thing.
It was very, very small pendant.
Yeah, it's so I'm holding up pendant essentially.
Yeah, I mean it's literally no bigger than what I'm wearing right now.
So yeah, literally just
So it's holding. You can just hold it out, but because it
just hold it up.
I am sorry to you, Paladin Crestwind, and I don't know if you have an honorific. It doesn't matter. I can take Cleric Hearthheart with me, but I cannot take you two.
What?
But you two wait here.
And?
Literally, it isn't bothering with even explaining anything to Hazel. It just gets up, walks around his desk, grabs hold of Hazel's wrist, and starts pulling.
Alarm squeaking, and I'm just letting myself get all the way.
And Alisaie is just, well, I'm still not going to get a place to sit for a while. Okay. But Hazel is sort of dragged through the lobby, back into the lift. Heskan taps on a panel under the elevator buttons, and it sort of vanishes for a second. And there's another button. Beep. Presses the button. The panel reappears, and you guys go down, down, down to ground floor, below ground floor. Thankfully, it's only a couple of floors down that you go, but
How secret am I supposed to keep what we're about to?
it's not so much a secret as this is a repository for some of the either more ancient, more delicate, all of the above, Pelor adjacent relics that we have found. When you mentioned an Order of the Mirage temple, vault, whatever thing, I recalled a thing that there was a team in the southern lands. They went to another of these Order of the Mirage vaults. I think theirs might have been worse than yours.
Half of the hallways were made of murder.
This one turned the entire room around, among other things.
Given at least one of the traps, that makes sense. Ours was a lot of acid.
In any case, they rampage through it, insofar as a group that size can rampage, but then again, as I understand it, they had a barbarian, and, well, the barbarian was not entirely that rampagey. It was mostly no thoughts, only hit, eat, pet.
Yeah, that thought process. I inhabit that thought process a lot more than I probably should.
Nowhere near this much. I mean this literally.
That is terrifying.
A story I heard involved them fighting a dune gator and not sure if want to fight more or have one for pet.
Oh, okay. See, I have never heard of a dune gator before, but I'm already afraid because that you said southern lands, and that sounds nightmarish.
Consider an alligator the approximate size of an adult dragon at minimum, which can swim in sand. Also, I don't know if you know this, but alligators grab their prey by whatever they can reach and roll them in an attempt to drown them and rip limbs off. They do this, but in sand.
That's all. So they get to basically simultaneously sandblast something and tear it to tiny little pieces.
Yes.
And because it's sand and it's the southern lands, I'm willing to bet they go down to a layer that's, I don't know, the sand is made of blades or something.
I had not heard that, but this was some few decades ago, so. In any case, it turns up at one And you've been passing by doors, basically. The ones you have now, because they were proper sized doors when you first started out, and now you're looking more at mailbox in an in an apartment block kind of thing.
They keep getting smaller.
Yeah, well, in this case, you're now in the kind of, when you've got a whole box of smaller boxes with doors in between, and they can slide the letters in, but you need a key to open them up properly.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen those by frankly the dozen.
Yep. I mean, you've seen them at my place, so that's the kind of thing I'm thinking. So, looks around, really finds the one he wants, pulls out what appears to be an empty ring, gives it a shake, and a key appears. Opens it up, pulls out the kind of box that you'd find fancy jewelry in. Opens it, and there's a bracelet. Pretty much matches the pendant. It's just, gold chain, little piece of
That's. May I?
this is why I'm taking it out. I'm going to be bringing it back upstairs, because I looked at this and I was not the one who took possession of this, but my mentor told me that this was here, and so when I heard about Order of Mirage and saw that, I thought these must work together somehow.
I'm just half wondering if they're gonna fuse into a single object.
I don't know. We were attempting to study it, but with only the one piece, we didn't have a great deal to go on.
Well, at least it was. At least it. I guess it made it obvious that it was part of a set.
Yes, I mean, it has something to do with the storage or the channeling of radiant energy. But we should go back upstairs because I don't want to go through this more than once.
Right.
So, back into the lift, back up you go. And yeah, Hescon comes back in holding the kind of box you keep fancy jewelry in. Hazel kind of coming along behind.
And I'm following, just looking thoroughly stunned by the whole experience.
Sits back at desk, puts the box down, turns it around, opens it, and yeah, a bracelet that matches the... looking at Remy and looking for a reaction, because Remy is hard to get a reaction out of, let's face it.
Is she supposed to recognize the bracelet?
It looks like an exact match to the pendant that you guys found in the Order of the Mirage.
Oh. Should lean in and examine it.
Yeah, it's a simple bit of gold chain with a small stone attached to it that matches that pendant that you guys found. This was found in a more serious Order of the Mirage vault in the Southern Lands.
How many vaults of that do we know about?
Not many. The Order of the Mirage has been more cagey than ever of late, particularly in the Southern Lands. I am assuming they are still functioning. But the particular team that found these ones, with the possible exception of the Barbarian and maybe the Bard, are heading in the direction of retirement about now. I mean, I suppose you could ask them, but I don't know where they are, so perhaps not.
I mean, In description, theoretically, we could start looking, but that's its own
Alisaie is like,
needle in a haystack sort of thing.
you're going to try to find like 3 or 4 people based on probably a fairly vague description that probably doesn't fit anymore because this was like several decades ago.
That's why I'm saying it would turn into a needle in a haystack thing of the worst kind, so probably not on the table. Saying it to get it out of my head before it sits in there and festers.
Pat, 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 pat.
We do have a lot of pressing matters.
I'll say as well, push comes to shove, if we need any more information about it, assuming that you guys don't have them, because you'd have offered if you did. Exactly. You've got an omen griffin, and from the little bag you got Michigan poking it.
Right.
Delicious.
Match produce and just sit him on the.
Why is there a church griffin cub on my desk?
Because every single time I've used any kind of deific divination stuff, everything from just everything from just commune divination and just divination, it's always gone through this.
Are you still holding on to Michigan, by the way?
I'm like trying to gesture while doing so. So if that loosens my grip and Michigan escapes.
Well, yeah, Michigan is basically pointing onto Heskin's wrist and playful gnaw and gnaw/peck and shiny. Heskin's just looking at this like, really? Grab. Shiny. Please take this back. Snug?
Yeah, I'm holding. So I guess the question would be to figure out how many pieces are remaining, wouldn't it?
Yes, but I am sorry, but while I understand how important this is, I think you would be better to do this with your team. Because I understand that you are dealing with fate of the world things, but I still have a job. As appreciative as I am for the information, and I can provide any answers to any questions you may have, but my office is not rental space for omens. Okay?
Entirely understandable. I just needed to example.
Snug. I take it his head is so empty so that it has more space for omen. Pats the head. This cup can fit so many omens in it.
That begs the question, are we leaving all of these here? Are we to be entrusted with that? I'm not sure.
That is up to you. I'm not going to take custody of items you found. I know these two belong together, so if you are taking them, you are taking them. But do you want to leave them here? Please don't expect me to make decisions for your entire team for you.
No, just you're kind of the authority on, well, artifacts of this nature, and you're also sort of in charge here.
Yes, Okay, well, first of all, I am not entirely in charge in research and development. I am just slightly less Griffian than some of my colleagues. I am also more the expert on matters involving the celestial specifically, rather than necessarily the radiant energy. I just knew about this because there might have been a connection. I think it had something to do with the fact that part of the uh, finding that bracelet involved speaking to uh, three of the Celestials, one of which was Ziriel.
Oh,
Apparently, there is a sort of a gate to the Celestial Plane under the Southern Land somewhere.
Wait, what?
I think the Order of the Mirage set this up this way. This is why there are so many traps and gauntlets. So people cannot just simply be wandering in willy-nilly. I don't know if it's still open.
I hope not.
I'm pretty sure if they don't want it open, it won't be open. The Celestials, I mean.
Okay. Okay, that's less concerning then.
And as I say, it is also with it's also between several layers of maze that turns you various ways, sideways, upside down, all of that kind of thing, and the various bits of poisons and goodness only knows what else. The Order of the Mirage is very keen on keeping its secrets.
they
Fair
take
enough.
my zealotry and dial it to frightening.
Yes. At one point, when the world is a little less in peril, I should explain to you what some of the individuals that found these bracelets found out about the Palor worshippers prior to the ones we have today.
That agreed. That would be amazing. But yeah, if Zerial is involved, these very much need to stay together, and I think we're gonna need to find the other pieces. I'm just putting it in the same box, putting the pendant I have in the same box next to the other thing. Ah,
I'm trying to figure out whether you putting that in the box means you're taking the box or you're leaving it with me. Because you don't seem to have made any kind of decision about this
yeah.
yet.
No, I'm putting it in that box and moving to close the box and take it with.
Okay. You've made a decision. This is a good place to start. I will check in with the other places that a couple of the Azamar who were away had run to. And I'll stop the others from attempting to find whatever killed them, because clearly they're not going to. Thank you for letting me know. Is there anything else we need to speak about at this point?
Remy looks to Alisaie and Hazel and nudges her head towards the door. I'll catch up with you in a minute.
Alisaie does not look happy with this, but goes.
I'm going to just give Remy a look and follow Alisaie while still carrying the box and carefully stowing it.
Yes, and probably wiggling Michigan around a bit, because snug
Yeah,
still.
just wobbling Michigan, trying to like alternating between trying to get the box into a proper safe storage space and also just wedge Michigan somewhere where he's not going to escape.
So it's attempting to stuff one thing in bag of holding and the other thing in the Griffin bag, while the Griffin just wants snugs.
Like, hang on, Michigan. I gotta at least put this away first.
At which point Alisaie just grabs up Michigan. Ooh, tight snugs.
How? I swear, it's like he's picking up vocabulary. just as we go.
That's kind of what crows do. Ravens too.
Yeah, but the comprehension level is way faster than I was at all ready for.
You've put the box away. Take your griffin back. Tight snacks! Just squish as hard as possible.
Yeah, I'm just doing that.
Tight snacks.
I mean, much as this is a thing, are you okay?
I'm not entirely sure I like the whole, I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to be keeping things, and I'm concerned. Beyond that, oh gee, I'm one of the sole survivors of a genocide! How do you think I am?
Understandable. Just, I had to ask.
I know,
You know why.
and I appreciate it. I'm just trying real hard not to dwell here. I am not going to become the wet blanket elf.
Yeah, okay, fair point.
If for no other reason than that would make me the world's biggest hypocrite, and I refuse.
Well, at the very least, we've got at least another new objective on the list. Find more parts of.
Yeah, because that's exactly what we needed. More things for the to-do list.
The
Ruffle.
a relic made out of, I guess, absorbing divine energy. Hold up.
Whatever
Hold up.
whatever it is that you're tinkering around with in your brain, how about we wait until Remy is back with us? Out of character mostly because I want to let Noms have them for the moment here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Just, oh man, I'm starting to worry she might put her foot in her mouth and pull a me again.
I think they're usually better than that, communicating, her and Heskin. I mean, she managed to ask for eventually this, so... Anyway, let's see what else has caught on from you guys fashion-wise, shall we? Gives Hazel a little, I'm trying, damn it, grin.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, Ruby, you've got Heskan going, this is something they could not hear? That's unusual for you lot.
I think it's more of that. It, not trying to make Alisaie feel worse. It's just, I'm sorry, Askin.
Why are you apologizing to me? Did you do this? I don't think your magic goes this way.
No, but I told you that we were going to free them.
And as far as I understand it, you did. I mean, you clearly got her out of there, so that means the rest of them probably went. Anything else that happened, you did not do this.
I don't blame only myself. Rest assured.
But you're blaming yourself when it's not a thing you should be doing.
Probably not, but...
I mean... If I remember it right, I understand. You would prefer blame you than your wife blame her because it was her plan to begin with.
I blame a lot of people, but no, I don't want her to feel worse. That's the other difficulty. She's went through a lot in a very short time period, and they tortured her, and then she was trapped in Avernus while losing her memories for weeks. And then one of the errands killed her. And I don't know how to help her.
I don't know you all particularly well. Out of respect for you, I have avoided the play. But I have a few ideas. Stop blaming you. Try to get her to stop blaming her. And kick the ever-loving crap out of the ones that were actually responsible for these in the first place.
That's the next move. Once we find them. And we're working on that.
Yes. As far as I can gather, I think she's fairly robust, this one. She's been through a few changes from what I have been able to see, but robust.
Yes.
I think probably wants to not fret, self-blame, mope. Mope is word, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be fairly easy to have her not do that. But probably not going to work out particularly well to treat her too much like she is made out of spun sugar.
I know, and it's just... I can't ask her to stay behind and try to recover a bit, because that would make her feel worse, and
Also, she
we're
would
just
not.
going to get
She
into
would.
more danger.
Also, she would not recover that way.
Not likely, no.
Okay, this is interesting. And I know that clerics are often helpful in these kinds of discussions, but now I am the celestial expert who is being likened to therapist. Listen, you. I think if you're going to blame yourself for anything, it's booting your wife out when she's probably as worried about you as you are about her. Because she has to know you're worrying. You don't hide it remotely as well as you think you do.
No.
So now she's going to wonder what it is that she can't hear about. And possibly she thinks you think she is delicate and cannot take all of this kind of thing. And well, you are such a mess.
Been a rough couple weeks.
I understand this, but I get the impression that your charm is of the adorkable variety.
I'll keep that in mind.
I think you would probably do a great deal better making her feel better if you were not brooding. Don't mistake me. You give lovely brood, but I don't think this is what she needs.
I'll try. It'll be easier once we find out where we need to go.
Right. Rummages around in a desk drawer, jots down a couple of things, hands Rummy the bit of paper, which one bit is a recipe, and the other is a list of various shops, interesting books, etc. I'm giving this to you as cover. When they want to know why you wanted to stay behind. You stayed behind because you knew I knew the city relatively well and you wanted to do some surprises for these two. The recipe is for Hazel, predominantly, but she and Alisaie are both going to like it. The rest of it is interesting places to be shopping.
What is the recipe for?
To be honest, you're not 100% sure. there's a certain amount of stuff that sounds spicy. It's definitely a meat dish, and can be cooked over a campfire.
Oh, that's
But
nice.
the name is unpronounceable.
Wait, what language is this? Now that
To be honest, Remy isn't sure. It's not any of the ones she knows. And it's probably not Draconic because
no.
it's not runes. So see, I have made sure that you have something nice to provide them with, which is going to help. And you don't have to dance around the idea that you were apologizing for things that's not either of your fault. Because the minute you start taking blame, she's going to start taking blame too, so you don't want to do that.
Thank you.
And just is kind of giving a, please, Shu, I have a job.
She will go catch up.
Yeah, currently they're Hazel and Alisaie are going through the. To be honest, they've probably by this point moved along to the various cooking bits, and Hazel is looking at the things we did particularly badly wrong, but it was a good experiment anyway. Letters at the back of one of them, with a certain amount of, yeah, I think I did that the first time I tried to make a cake.
Wait. Here's a question. Is it pickled cheesecake?
No, thankfully, no. This was simply too much baking powder. So basically, you filled the entire oven and a good quarter of the floor with runaway cake batter.
What the way this is written, I wanted it to rise, not achieve thrust. It's great.
And when Remy comes in, Alisaie is like, "We've been keeping ourselves entertained. Thankfully, we still haven't found any further borrowing of our various styles, but Hazel is seeing a lot of herself in the what I messed up when I was experimenting in the kitchen pages."
I mean,
Given a
If
couple
she-
of these, I now have an idea.
The fact that you're getting ideas from the "this is what we did wrong" page is disturbing.
I mean,
Yeah,
if she
I
hadn't gone,
think I have an idea of how to correct a few of these.
Okay, that's
if she
putting it
hadn't
better.
gone to the monastery, she would have ended up here.
To be
No
honest,
growth.
with Hazel, she would have ended up literally here.
Also likely.
I don't think there's a world in which Hazel was not a devotee of Palor.
Hmm.
So,
Very fair.
all's cool?
Mm-hmm. We might need some extra ingredients. She will hand the recipe to Hazel.
I'll say his name.
And I read this.
The recipe's in Halfling. You still can't pronounce it. You know Twilly can.
Okay, I know what that means, and I know what that means, but I can't say it because I could never manage to get around say it, don't spray it with at least that syllable and that syllable. Look, if I say it's going to come out garbled. I know Mom can say it.
Yes, but she doesn't. She's actually always lamented not having that particular kind of horseradish because it won't grow in Goldendale.
That, though. We need to find a place that sells that. That is and I'm buying all of it.
You're gonna pull a Barnabas.
I'm buying all of it and I'm sending most of it home.
I take it can't be grown at home? You can't just send seeds? Hazel will start with no and then realize, wait a minute, if Paylor follows through on what he promised, and obviously he will because he's Paylor, that might change. So it's like, no, oh.
Not. Is it no? Not yet.
So maybe buy enough for like a year's supply and seeds?
Yes. Therefore, I'm buying more than all of it.
So you stuck around for Heskan to give you a recipe?
I asked him for some advice on what might be worth taking a look at in the city, and
Yeah, I can see that. Huh. I walked past at least one of these places, but, cool. I'll have to see how much time we have. This took less time than I thought it was going to.
sounds like we have some time then.
Hazel's going...
Culinary rampage.
Part of it's culinary, but not all of it. At least I need all the horseradish you have is probably easy enough. Quick enough, anyway. Come on, let's go. Meanwhile, what's probably the next and quickest bits to be dealing with, Ava and Clarity heading out into... Ava recognizes it. Clarity hasn't been here. This looks like a more residential area. So why in the world you're here, you're not entirely sure. It's pretty, though. The houses are kind of close together, and you're not used to houses not having a yard. Because, it's either manors with lawns and gardens, or houses with chickens running around in them. But no, these are squished together in really pretty window boxes instead of flower gardens. And make me an intelligence check. Actually, you could probably do... Is nature intelligence?
Me or
For Clarity. Sorry, you don't need it. You've been here before.
Nature is intelligence, yeah.
In which case, I don't think you have proficiency, but you can roll it anyway.
It's the same number, but 17.
Yeah, you're looking at one, and yeah, the flowers are pretty, but wait a minute. On the house that Ava is approaching, yeah, those flowers are pretty, but wait a minute. All of those are poisonous.
Aren't all those flowers poisonous?
probably know better than me.
Well, no, because you know they are.
Oh.
To be fair, you know that her wallpaper is patterned with frickin' foxgloves.
Yes, they are.
Because with her, it's
Right.
for you. It's not just projectiles. It's projectiles and poisons.
Yeah, she deals in projectiles and poisons.
So you ring the little doorbell. It plays a jaunty little tune. Clink. And Belladonna looks at you. This is another halfling. Quite dark hair. Relatively dark skin. Looking at you all like, welcome back. How is to who it may concern working out for you?
It worked great for a while, but it unfortunately had a bit of a mishap in one of our last encounters.
You had best come in. Come in, the pair of you. And yeah, the various herbs in the various window boxes are all poisons. The wallpaper is patterned in poison flowers, and the cookies that she brings out with tea are in fact also iced with poisonous flowers. They seem to be the only ones she knows. And currently she set you up with tea and then gone to one of the counters, unrolled a bit of canvas and put out what was left of to whom it may concern on it, trying to figure out which pieces are missing, and as it turns out, a lot of them. Where did all of it go? What happened?
We were in an underground temple of some kind. There were elemental traps, essentially, and one was fire.
Ah, yes. No, you see, that is the problem with the firearms. Because they have the black powder. If you get them too hot, they are going to explode.
Yes, I noticed.
Well, I don't think I can fix this. Mostly because there's not enough left to fix. And it made an absolutely mess of the chambering. Oh, sorry. Hello, I am Belladonna. Bella for short.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Clarity.
Back to looking at. I'm going to have to. I'm assuming you want some kind of replacement.
Ideally, yes.
I'm going to have to see what I have. This was. And I'm mostly retired.
Sorry.
I'll see what I have available, but if I don't, I might have to hunt. Might have to make another one. Oh boy. Yes, help yourself to tea and cookies. Don't touch any of the rest of the flowers. Trust me on these. And it goes kind of downstairs, apparently. And as an afterthought, and if your friend needs any poison, she should let me know.
Like a clarity. You heard us.
I think I'm good, thanks. Do I need poison?
I don't know.
I'm gonna hand a fate this one. Yeah, no. A bit of a pause, and then leans up from the basement door. That depends on what you want your poison to do and what your poisons already do.
That is true.
I have a poison dagger. I don't have any plan yet.
And somewhere in the middle of a whole bunch of rattling, nobody uses Mage Bane anymore. It's a pain. Clatter clunk.
That is awfully cavalier with toxins of various flavors from the judging by the rattling.
Well, you don't know what she's throwing around down there, but nobody's even curious about Mage Bane. That's hilarious.
Clarity's busy eating around the ice flowers.
Ava was offered them before, and they're fine.
Mage Bane would probably like take her attention. Would she have heard about it? Probably not.
Probably not, no, but let's face it, with a name like that, could be useful. You don't know.
Yeah, that's what she's thinking.
Do I know what Mage Bane is or does?
Well, you weren't sounding remotely curious about it, so
She's still messing with it.
You know magic. Do you know what Mage Bane is?
yeah, this one is just going to be a straight up intelligence check.
Okay.
Your target's a little high, but
12.
well, you don't know exactly, but working it out from first principles, it must be a bane to mages
I mean,
or anyone who uses magic.
Bad for mages.
I mean.
But again, with your intelligence, you can work out that that means either it's either stronger with mages or it prevents them from being able to do the mage thing, but you're not 100% sure which.
Hello, what's Mage Bane?
Clomping up the stairs. It's a particularly painful kind of poison that makes it harder for anybody who is using magic to focus on their magic. So it makes it harder for them to fling a spell and harder to maintain one of those long lasting spells. Okay, you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry for this, but I'm going to need a couple of days because I'm going to have to build a new one.
I'm sorry.
Why are you apologizing? I'm pretty sure you didn't want your gun to blow up in your face either.
No, but I didn't want to be in imposition on you either.
Oh, you're going to be paying me. You're going to be paying me a lot. So no, you're not imposing on me.
Oh, that is the plan. Don't worry. I would not dare shortchange you like that.
Well, no, because if I built it and then you didn't give me money, I just wouldn't give it to you.
Fair enough.
Welcome to Belladonna, the scariest character of the bunch.
I am curious about that mage bane, though.
Yes, we're going to be discussing the what you're taking away and what you will be paying for it when your new weapon is done. I don't know what I can do about heat proofing it. I probably can't, but I can try. And you can talk to the rest of your team because there are lots and lots of things that can be done that is not just poison owl, poison owl, poison owl, dead.
Okay,
So think about what you need.
we will.
Sounds good.
Look,
you so
I would
much.
not poison my icing.
I know, but I just wasn't.
Look at it this
I
way:
had a
it is
thought.
it is the only opportunity you will have to eat a poisonous flower with no consequences.
Pops, like, because she has like 3 of them now. She pops all 3 in her mouth.
Yeah, I mean, they're tasty and they're definitely not poisoned. That's because I'm sorry I could not keep those. You're like unto my daughter, who used to take the sandwich cookies. You know, the ones that are cookie. Actually, you two probably don't. Cookie, and cream in the middle. She would open them up, eat the cream, stick them back together, and put them back in the cookie jar.
One, that's kind of gross. And 2, where can I get these cookies?
As I understand it, the halfling who's had the trend-setting big green bow probably has some because she bought bits of everything.
That would surprise me. That would absolutely surprise me.
Okay.
So she probably has some of those. They come in lots of different flavors. I think the most interesting one is pumpkin spice.
Is that pumpkin with spices or pumpkiny spices or...
Is there a tangible difference between the two states?
Well, okay. Does it actually have a pumpkin in it? Or is it the same spices that one would use in pumpkin things?
If you can't tell when you eat it, does it matter?
Well, I want to know what's in it, though.
You would have to read the ingredients list then. I don't know.
Okay. Just thought maybe you would know.
No, I check to make sure that things are not poison, and beyond that, I don't care all that much.
Fair enough.
Or, you know,
Do
you
I
can...
need...
Oop, go ahead.
Do I need to go to a supermarket to get these cookies? Because that may be a problem for me.
As I say, yes, there has been some word about that. People are going to be watching you very closely about grocery stores.
Unfair.
I think that your girlfriend has some, like I said.
Oh, the energy drink.
Apparently, no. You see, some weeks ago, she apparently had her first encounter with one of our supermarkets,
Yeah.
and she cleared an entire shelves. It was impressive. We have not seen people with that much money to throw around in quite some time.
Oh, so what's in that sense? I thought it was more.
Yes, no, she got I imagine she does not have that much more room to put things in her bag of holding right now.
No.
Because otherwise
There's-
it's just going to explode in cookies.
There's a lot of toaster pastries.
Again?
I'm not sure what her thing is with toaster pastries, but there's a lot of toaster pastries.
Oh, yeah.
I
think
feel
that's
that
what
it is
I
to do
think
with
of.
the toaster. I think she likes food that is as springy as she is.
Oh,
Probably, that would not surprise
good
me.
insight. Good insight.
I have to start building things now. Thank you very much for your custom, and I will see you in a couple of days.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And ushers you out, and we are a little bit past the break time because Clarity plus Ava plus Belladonna is apparently fucking hysterical, and we'll deal with the rest of it when we come back. And we're back after 2 of the 3 various bits of chore these guys need to get done before meeting up with Professor August. We can say, by the way, that well, Clarity and Ava will probably be joining up with Remy, Hazel, and Alisaie before you guys all meet up, because you're all going to be in the shopping district. So we'll cover that kind of thing when this bit is over. Because Barnabas, Rylan, who hasn't seen this particular part of Egref yet, Rylan hasn't seen very much of Egref and is probably very perplexed by some of the spots they're going right now. And Cherie, who really is not fazed by any of this, so clearly she's been around the place before. Wandering up to the soda shop, just off, not very far from Isat Lane or the Academy. And Barnabas can point out, yeah, that's the nightclub we went to. Student-run nightclub, Basil Cell. The one that
It was
Barnabas probably doesn't want to talk too much about some of the stuff he got up to there.
The one with the pipes all over the outside and the
No.
various liquids going in.
No, this was the nightclub you guys were in, and the thing Barnabas might not want to discuss with his girlfriend in the room is the time spent with the Goliath.
yeah.
Sorry, the reason I brought up the pipes is I remember you describing the aesthetic before of it just having a whole bunch of crazy ass architecture on the outside.
Yeah, but that's not the key feature as far as these guys are concerned. But about a couple of doors down from that is the soda shop, and yeah, thankfully it's late enough in the day or close enough to lunch or something that there's a bit of a crowd of teenager-ish aged individuals gathering around a corner table, and seems to be some kind of bidding war in effect. And the thing they are bidding on briefly reveals itself to be a very well crafted metal fairy dragon, complete with at least some possibilities of flight. And Barnabas hasn't seen any of Molly's inventions, but did hear about things like Hoodie, the black iron snake construct. So that's probably her, somewhere in that mess of students. That looks promising.
Oh, that's from what I've heard. That constructs definitely would be her work. It's just I'm debating: do we let them finish, or do we barge in? I'm good at barging.
Well, I suppose that depends on how much you want a metal fairy dragon. Flitty pokes head out of Ryland's scarf. Looks a lot like me, but I bet I'm smarter.
Oh, we know
you are
yours.
too.
Also probably can't fly as well. I wonder what kind of spells they use. I bet Miss Twilly would be really interested. The mom lady.
Well, that answers that then.
So, what are you doing?
What's the bidding at? Just he'll listen for a second.
Currently, what it seems to be less in the vein of money and more in the vein of, apparently they get meal vouchers for various of the spots around Egref. So it's offers for trading for the really good restaurants, various bits of help with homework, helping clean up the lab. And in at least one case, honestly, that one you're not entirely sure you understand, but something about undertaking the fizzy challenge on your behalf.
Hmm.
One bit of bidding does go to the take you to Harley's, and I will eat the whole thing on your behalf. That one from a particularly likely looking half orc. Some are offering money, but make me an insight check, Barnabas, and Rylan if you want to. Yeah. From what Rylan can see through the crowd of students, Molly's whole thing is, I would very much like this to be done so I can have my lunch, please. For Barnabas, actually, no, it's the ones who are more, on the cash end that are getting more of her attention, which probably makes sense because things are weird in Baronsvere, and she probably wants to send money home.
300 gold.
Yeah, the entire place stops dead. Every single person in that place is now looking at you.
Ah.
Molly just salt. With that insight from both of you, that look is, I didn't think you were serious. I was just kind of hoping that would make them all go away. But I call him Storm. I call him Stormy.
That's very nice.
And the rest of them are kind of grumbling about adventurers throwing their adventurers throwing their spoils of war around.
Rylan is not here.
Hi.
Barnabas has money, and Barnabas doesn't care about money.
Fair enough. I mean, Sheree is like, if I share in the cost of that, can I bring that home? It'd be nice on the end table.
I was getting it mostly for you.
Oh, thank you. Well,
You're welcome.
it's sort of, okay, hi, I know one of you. Hi, Barnabas, wasn't it?
Yes. How you doing?
Did you, I'll get to that, but did you go to Broggen's Big Eats in the end?
Yes, we did.
That looks as you enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So, who are your friends? Why is this one hiding? Hi?
Rylan, still getting used to existing around many people.
Yeah, I feel your pain. Maybe not quite the same pain, but I used to live on a wheat farm, mostly.
Mhm.
I had my mechanical bit, my mechanical friends, and that kind of thing, but not this many people.
Mm.
Since I
There are not
apparently
this many
have,
people.
since I now apparently have all the money, can I get you guys something to drink? Barnabas might think, I wonder if this is the place where they sold that try it soda.
Does this place sell the, what was it, try it soda or something?
Well, I know that one of the students that apprentices here uh, shoves that at new people a lot, saying try it, try it, try it. At least students. I think they don't do it so much with non-students because non-students aren't always that experimental.
Mm-hmm.
So I think so. If it's the same, try it, try it, try it. There's a lot of try it, try it, try it here.
That's true. Well,
I'll think
I'll
of
go for one of those. Why not?
if there isn't anything, I'll think of something. I'll trust your judgment. Shuri Belascu, by the way, nice to meet you. You look important, sort of, but currently I'm an attractive accessory. And wanders off to the. Comes back with Rylan certainly doesn't. Hand of Fading if Barnabas does. Yeah, ice cream floats have made it to Ravnica just about. But there's not so much fizzy drinks, so it's generally more closer to a disassembled milkshake is what you guys normally get, but this is, in your case, a scoop of vanilla ice cream in a mug of Dr. Pepper. Rylan gets root beer. So does Shuri. Molly's is apparently strawberry soda. So,
Thank you, Bet.
thank you. That was getting a little nuts. So, what brings you back to Egref?
It is a very long story.
Honestly, we were at least partly looking for your expertise.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just a student. You made Stormy here. We wanted to ask about the sorts of people you might know who in any way specialized in putting together metal for various devices. Well, I mean, there's my various instructors, but I'm guessing you're not talking about them. Is this
One would hope not.
Is this a hero thing?
Yeah, kinda.
Kind of?
Yes. What kind of device are we talking about here?
Explosive using a divine energy source.
Okay, wow, that would take a lot of preparation that I don't normally have to even do. I mean, mine, if there's any kind of divine energy in mine, I've been experimenting with that recently, but it's only a really, really tiny spark to give some semblance of life,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. And that might be more spirit magic than anything specifically divine. But if you're talking about radiant energy, I'm assuming it's supposed to be doing radiant damage?
Yes.
How stable is the radiant energy?
Not.
What kind of radiant energy source is that unstable?
Do you really want to know?
If I'm going, I mean, probably not, but if I'm going to help you, I kind of have to.
The radiant energy is in this case, the divine spark of basically all of the Asima that died recently.
Okay, all of the Asmar that have died recently, how many are we talking about here?
As far as we know, all but 3.
I'm guessing
There's
that if your friend was not one of the 3, you'd be a lot angrier than you are right now. I just want to know if she's okay.
She is okay. Alisaie is
is.
okay.
Okay. Good to know. It probably means that nobody's going to pick me up and shake me for answers anytime soon. I understand being impatient, by the way. I just like to be prepared.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is some horrific shit, which is why I
Oh.
give you an out.
Oh no, it definitely is, but you've all been so helpful. I mean, I'm here for a start, which is, I mean, you weren't there for them getting me here. You seem to have a much better wood elf this time. Sorry, he was a he sat on the roof and sulked. It was a thing.
Oh, him. Right.
For Rylan, this is not the kind of half elf you have ever seen. The hair keeps changing colors, and after there are streaks in the hair anyway that keep changing colors. And when the mention of the Asmar being dead went to a sort of a frost blue. You're looking at... Oh, I'm half Eladrin? Yes, you do know what those are. If for no other reason, then at least in part they are your forebears. Just long, distant forebears.
Oh, that fascinating.
Well, my dad fell in love with my mom and decided to throw over the Elven Wild for a wheat farm. He's been pretty happy with it so far.
That is good to hear.
Except I needed something else, so now I'm here. Anyway, so you have... They would have had to put together something to keep the divine energy, the radiant energy, if not stable, then at least contained for, I take it, an indefinite period of time.
Yeah. That's at least, as far as we know, would be what they'd be going for.
Okay, do you know anything about what they're going to be using it to do? Or at the very least, how far they're going to have to be carrying it around?
What they're using it to do can basically be boiled down to attack a god, and as far as they're carrying it around, they've been using teleportation.
They've been oh no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 that's not good. That's never good.
I'm out of character. I'm completely sorry. I have done nothing but teleport bread for the last 3 days.
Yeah, well, currently Barnabas and Rylan are watching Molly just going, no, 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 that's not good. No, no, no. Look, if you're carrying around that amount of energy, particularly if it's unstable, there's only so much metal and glass and the various other materials that we have here, even if they had access to those, which I don't know if they did, using magic around that is not a good thing. Using magic on it is worse. They're destabilizing it every time they poof it someplace.
Well, considering the person who seems to be left in charge of the maniacs with it can be best described as a giggling lunatic, somehow I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but you don't have to be surprised. You have to be horrified and probably stop it. Except
That's
I don't.
what we're here for.
I don't know how you. That's the problem. Once you have it, I don't know what you do with it. Because at this point, I mean, it was always on a timer. Put it to you that way. I mean, where was it built? Was it built here in Egraf? You don't think so?
We don't think so.
So they wouldn't have had some of the materials we have here.
It's a good bet.
Safe bet.
So that already takes down the amount of time it'll stay contained. Do you know how many times on average they just an approximate that they teleported it? At least twice.
Twice we're sure of. That's all I can say.
Well, without knowing the exact metals and materials they were using, I couldn't tell you an exact or even an approximate, especially not if they've teleported it more than you think. And I imagine they've been using... Well, first they had to use all the magic to put all the souls in there in the first place, and if they're unhappy with... Well, then again, it's not really souls, so... It's almost worse thinking about it. It's divine essence. That's gonna get angry, especially if there's a lot of scourge. That's gonna be a thing. Okay. I can go to the library. I can do some calculations. And I'm sorry, I'm thinking curfew. Nuts to curfew. I will come back here at some point tonight with something, anything I can find.
That'd be very helpful. Thank you.
I'm gonna stop on the way to send most of this to Mum's. Drinks are on me when we meet up here later. Research project.
Okay.
The streaks have gone. It's kind of weird because it's sort of verging between the sad and horrified blue and the hopeful I have work to do green. So you kind of got a turquoisey kind of a overall there, and you're well that. I mean, it was horrific news, but that went well. At least we got a lot of information and the promise of more.
Yeah.
And I mean, all things considered, she's clearly got quite the mind for it. Since that took less time than expected, I suppose we should look around for the others in the shopping district.
Might as well. This is good. This is really good.
It's a shame they don't seem to have a name for it yet. It seems to be one of those things you ask for at the counter. I admit I'm probably a little less impressed by their root beer as I could be, but that would be because I'm used to Ambia root beer, so I'm not saying anything. It's still good.
Yeah, well.
We'll finish these and have a wander.
Barnabas, as you said, was Dr. Pepper?
Yes. It was the try it, because nobody has a name for it yet.
Well, this you should try this. It is. There's a reason they're calling it try it, and they need a better name for it.
So, it's kind of like root beer, except a little less tart and a little more cinnamon.
It's like root beer and cola had a very drunken night.
I'd say to name it after you, but I think that ship already sailed back in Anbear.
Look, I'm not some sort of... look, just because I'm not from this plane of existence doesn't mean I get to name all your drinks, all right?
Maybe we could suggest they name it Dr. August. She seems the spicy sort.
That's a good suggestion. It's also got a good ring to it, I think, for marketing purposes.
Is Barnabas going to go up and make that suggestion?
Of course he is.
Gets the actual owner, because apparently the apprentice is in class. There's this gentleman is trying desperately not to laugh, but does say, I'll bring it up with my student."
Thank you.
And on that front, when you guys are finished your drinks, it's off to okay, who's booping again? It's off to the shopping district, because the one place you guys all know from Team Paylor to Team Soda Shop to Team Belladonna, that you all knew someone was going to hit at least one point, is the Explorer Society, which is where they sell the Every Gadgets. And of course, this is the first time Clarity has seen this place. And what it is there's a very steampunk feel to the clothes you can get there. It's like those kobolds that you had the potluck with, but for humanoids rather than goblinoids, or whatever you call a kobold. But also towards the back, some very detailed maps and cartography supplies. So yeah, it's a combination steampunk fashion cartography shop, and on the counter there's a display of Every Gadgets.
Clarity's gonna get one of the Every Gadgets and be like, and try on some hats.
Yeah, so we'll have, because this really did not take you guys very long, Barnabas, Cherie, and Rylan coming in to watch Clarity try on hats.
Okay.
Because it's kind of a little hard for some of them, because there's a specific rack for people with horns that have little holes cut out so that you can fit the holes in. You fit the horns through, so you're not punching holes through the brim or anything. Some of the kobolds had to do that.
She's going like this, shimmying them over the horns.
And that's what you guys walk in to see.
You know, there is an advantage of having big horns like this. You can generally just fit something in the middle.
Yes, but then you probably have to strap it down if it's going to stay on when you're being active.
Yeah, it's usually a social thing only. And what are they called? There's one particular type. Was it bowler? I don't know why they call it that. I look kind of really ridiculous with it.
And actually, it walks up there because there is a bowler hat with a pair of goggles strapped to it and a little feather, which she stands on a convenient shoe trying on chair and puts it between Barnabas's horns. That's adorable.
I swear there's like a field that makes them look smaller as soon as they're put on top of my head.
That's good.
I like it.
So you found your Every Gadget, I see.
Yes, and I think I'm going to get goggles just for aesthetics.
All right.
So
Big
does this
reference.
mean you're never actually putting them on over your eyes? Or
I will absolutely be looking through them at inopportune times.
Like your pince nez.
okay, fair. But, you know, goggles are safety equipment. It'd be a shame to not actually use them if you need eye safety.
Well, I want to try. I saw your watch, Cherie, and I kind of want to see if I can find like a kit where I can learn how to put things together like that.
You'd want puzzled and you'll start larger. But they should have a kit like that at Puzzled. I know you must have been there because I was shown with great glee the Manticore skeleton kit.
Yeah,
That
I did that with my brother.
That went well. And yet, around this point, Hazel Remy and Alisaie kind of pass by looking in the window, and these guys are impossible to miss.
I mean, Barnabas being, what, 7 feet?
And yeah, Hazel can see Clarity through the window trying on goggles.
Look, darling, look.
Look
Look at me, look.
Alisaie literally leads Hazel into the shop. There you go.
Hi.
We have a shopping mission of our own. Apparently, it seems that
Jeez.
Heskan is such an so knowledgeable of the city and such a party animal that Remy stayed behind to ask him for places that we should go, and gave Hazel a not quite new recipe, but the proper version of one her parents know.
I am finding every single instance of this one kind of radish in this city.
Out of character, horseradish, very different.
It's horseradish in this city, and I'm buying all of it.
I thought
Hey,
you
now.
said you were just going to get a year's supply and some seeds because your province, barony, whatever, should be able to grow them by next year.
I mean, yes, but a year's worth of supply for where I'm from?
Do they?
We'll see.
But you're not going to be making this dish every day.
That's a lot of horseradish.
Honestly, though,
Everybody's
I'm mostly joking.
Either.
We've seen you in supermarkets, and we saw Barnabas in the sweet shop in Goldendale. We take
speaking of-
nothing for granted.
Speaking
I
of
haven't seen her in a supermarket.
You've actually drawn quite a bit of attention with that.
Apparently, yeah. So, to be fair, so why are we sulking now? Wait, did word get around about the issues?
Yes. I mean, it's more the fact that she cleared shelves.
No, I was talking about Clarity because she.
Apparently, it happened this morning. How fast does gossip get around?
You remember you talked about your mother's Temple friends, your foster mother's Temple friends. How fast did gossip get around there? And then and then, as Hazel says, multiply by egg ref.
I want to ride in a
Unfortunately,
cart.
Even if you
I
were
will say
allowed
this, though,
in, you
and I'm
would not
producing-
be allowed to ride in a cart.
Wait, did we yoink the magazine?
No, it's property of the.
Nerds. See, wait. I'm looking for where's the. Hold on. Clarity, you're very much part of this, but I need to make sure I'm looking for the elf.
Oh boy.
Well, Rylan, yeah, he's there. He's.
Rylan,
I
come here.
don't know what Rylan is looking at in cartography and steampunk clothing. What is Rylan looking at in this place?
I think it's cameras.
Probably, if anything, like the different goggles and things.
So hanging around near Clarity. So yeah, the
Oh,
elf
no,
is
what
right
now?
there.
You two are trendsetters around here.
So is Hazel, by the way.
What?
It actually points out the
Rylan's
window where you
scarf.
see a couple of young women go by with large bows in their hair. One very bright red, one shade of blue-green that you only find in poisonous frogs.
That. And just, I'm going to move over to Clarity. The gloriousness that is these, and I'm just sort of like at her horns, just petting at them.
And yeah, if you're still looking out the window, there's a couple of people in that Ryland style of scarf.
Oh, that explains the scarves. I thought it was just because it's chilly.
Beer. He yelled.
Rylan, you're fashionable.
He always what? They always were. Apparently, there was they
That's horrifying to me.
were, but weren't they really into your look in Amber too?
They were, even if I was worried it was for a wildly different reason.
I probably will sleep better not knowing about this, but but you're apparently fashion forward.
Look, it's spreading. First it was the play, now it's this.
Look, as long as the attention's off me, I don't care. So, did everybody find what they were? I mean, you clearly found your every gadget. 5 gold, by the way.
Okay.
And the goggles.
Does that include the goggles?
No, the goggles will add another gold.
Okay.
You guys, did you find Molly?
We did. We're going to be meeting. She's going on a research project, and we'll be meeting us back at whatever the name of the soda place is.
I think it's literally just the soda shop.
The soda shop later tonight with what she can find. It's I think apparently them teleporting with the device is really not good.
Apparently, using too much magic anywhere near it is ill-advised.
Makes sense.
Thanks.
Particularly when you're not using materials sourced in Egrev. Which we doubted they were.
So we have multiple reasons to hurry.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Meantime, and it actually holds up the metal fairy dragon.
Ooh.
Molly's creation. There was being a bit of a bidding war. Barnabas shut it down extremely well.
She made that?
And it sort of flies over and
That's incredible.
It's a little wobbly, but manages enough to land on Ava's head. Clunk.
Hello.
It's heavier than Flitty by a bit.
Hefty.
Well,
Very
made of metal. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But yes, the
So many detail.
Mm-hmm.
well, she was telling us about her mechanical companions, and yeah, you guys, some of you anyway, remember about Hoodie and the cat.
Right. Yeah, but not these. They were bigger, so this one was more like refined.
Well, the cat was cat-sized. The cobra was a bit larger than the average cobra, but you honestly don't know how big a normal cobra is. So, but Flitty, but Stormy is Flitty-sized.
Yeah, well, we also saw
Thankfully, part of the reason that she was halfway aware of this was because apparently she's been managing a very small radiant spark in a couple of her creations to make them a bit more alive.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing unwilling like these, and nothing that large, and certainly nothing that unstable. We did have to tell her exactly what was in the device.
poor thing.
Yeah.
She handled it remarkably well. She is very grateful to you all and very much wants to help.
He's a good kid.
Very good kid.
Well, my weapon is a bust, so Benedon is kindly making a new one, but that's going to take a bit of time.
Do we have an approximate?
Couple days, I think she said.
Well, we'll check in 2 days, but we can't wait that much longer.
Yeah.
This is starting to sound stressy. But at the same time, we do need some time to be asking what Escan had. You remember that necklace?
Mhm.
Apparently, it's got it's
Are
more
there
than
parts of a
it.
set or
Yeah.
parts of a whole in general? I'm not sure if it's going to all fuse together when we're done or what.
It's
Wait,
at
what?
the very least it's part of a set. They had a bracelet which matches it, which they found in some other bunch of adventurers found in some other order of the Mirage Temple in the Southern Lands, something like 40, 50 years ago. Possibly the same people that gave me this pulls the key out. Speaking of, I should find a door and find out what the fuck this thing does.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can give that a try when we, I don't know, head out? When we're heading from the city in 2 days?
I mean,
Tonight.
we've got a couple of hours to kill before dinner time. This hasn't taken that long. So, I figured find a side street to find, or I actually want to practice the drawing a door, because that weirds me out.
Alright.
All right.
Turns the next corner. Sketch. Doorknob. Keyhole. Taps the key to the brick, and the brick is not a wooden door. You're not sure what material it is, but it looks very much like a door, and the keyhole works.
What the?
Pushes
Huh.
in. Inside, it looks a little bit like Fort Cupcake, but larger,
Hold
Oh.
the.
with more corridors panning out into it. It takes
Oh.
the key, ushers you guys all in, and shuts the door.
What is this? A plane of it? Did someone just give you a tiny other plane?
Dragon just gave her a tiny plane.
But
Yeah.
they said that an adventurer sold this to them. So somebody found this thing, or made this thing, or earned this thing. I don't know, but a lot more corridors than, and the furniture matches up a bit more. I don't know. I'm getting this feeling like it's trying to figure out what I want a living place to look like. So I'm going to suggest people just take a corridor and look around. I don't know at this point.
Okay.
Moving over to Clarity, grabbing Clarity, and just taking off down a corridor. See y'all later.
Oh. Okay. In pairs, at least.
I think that's not a bad idea.
Probably.
So that's me and Ray.
Hmm.
Hazel and Clarity are already gone. Barnabas, you've got Charisse. That leaves Rylan and Ava.
Okay.
You guys, I mean, there are doors in the corridors that you're in. How many of them do you want to open, or is Hazel just numing to the... Because there is a larger door at the end of the corridor.
That.
Okay, you barge into that, and what you have is a menagerie of sorts. It is basically... It's somewhere between a menagerie and a high-end pet store.
What?
Because you've basically you've got your cats, you've got your dogs, you've got your various cages of rodent and mustelid, and one of the dogs you kind of think is a pony at first because it's very, very big, but no, that's a Newfoundland. And yeah, basically every single one of these things just mobs Clarity for affection.
Yay! There's so much slobber.
Get all the slobber.
Oh,
Hey,
babe, I guess we found the right room.
Hazel
Where you
will,
roll that?
Hazel will note, no, you can't. This place is bigger than you'd think. Hazel finds a plaque on the wall that says, none of the animals originating in this house can be removed from this house.
Clarity, when you're done, worth the read over here.
You can't see it from the floor where you currently are. You could ask
you
her to
read
read
it
it.
aloud, because I can't see past the floof.
Creatures originating in this house cannot be removed from this house.
Suppose they're magic, so that makes sense.
I'm just pulling Michigan out from the bag.
Michigan attempts to
What
get
you
back
think?
into the bag.
Do not want, I guess.
There's a reproachful look of, you're gonna like them better than me. It curls up.
Here you are, squish.
Poor little thing.
Snug.
See, what I see there is not replacements, but more friends for you.
Scrunches
And then
with
I
a
whisper, or better yet, an entire crew to get up to nonsense with.
It just clappers a little closer to you. Mine!
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. True.
This one apparently has no interest in other animals. Yours. That's it.
Baby.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna find a place relatively close to the pile of floof containing clarity and just sit down and continue hugging him Michigan while just watching this havoc.
Do you have names?
Apparently not.
Your name's Gregory. Yours is Poof.
Poof is a Pomeranian that reminds of what Puffy must have looked like when Puffy was a puppy. Which is
clear puffball.
Yeah, which is literally bounce, poof onto Clarity, nuzzle, lick, and getting some of its fur flattened down by the Newfoundland doing the licking.
Any one of these look like a waffles?
I'm leaving that to y'all's imagination.
Or a cake pan?
If you explore the rest of the rooms down that corridor, which I'm assuming you will eventually, you find a fairly comfortable bedroom that Clarity will... Well, actually, no. No, the both of you will, because your perception has gone up a bit of late. We still need to work through that. Notice that while the dogs probably couldn't unless you kept a few doors open, there's you know those places that have like cat tree kind of things stuck along the walls and little holes in
Trails.
the top. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of like Habitrail for cats.
Yeah.
But yeah, that apparently means you can still have your cat pile. Additionally, the other three doors are different types of library. One appears to be research, one appears to be history, and one appears to be fiction. Largely sort of the combination of the retelling of old legends complete with additional angst, and the retelling of old legends complete with additional romantic fluff and or smut.
You made me AO3.
I made you AO3, yes I did.
Three.
Well, to be fair, Alisaie made Clarity AO3.
Okay. Hello, friends. I may be lost in here for a while, darling.
Ava and Rylan find what appears to be I mean, it's supposed to be the bathhouse, but it has more in common with Governor Zet's spa bath thing than anything else. So it's the hot and cold tubs and all the rest of it. There's also a training room, a stable complete with riding ring, and a conservatory, which is effectively a greenhouse. Seems like a lot of the a lot of edible plants are growing here, but there's also basic flowers and herbs and the rest of it.
What is this place?
Well, the only person who could answer that question for you is off elsewhere. You will each also find... Ava will find a bedroom that probably closer to her room in Fort Cupcake than her room used to be. Because it's probably about where she's more comfortable now. It's just less countrified, leave us simply say. And Rylan has a similar comfy chair to trounce in, lots of plants, a little bookshelf, and little pet bed for Flitty, and another little pet bed for Cupcake. Barnabas and Cherie find the kitchen, which is very much designed for somebody who cooks.
Oh.
It has a one of those refrigerators which you open. So Cherie opens it, shuts it. I would like some of the pierogi cheese. Opens it, pulls out the pierogi cheese. Would you like to try?
Yes. Yes, I would. So how is it?
No. She was asking you to try to see if you could get something that you wanted out of the fridge.
Opens it, looks,
It's empty.
closes it.
I don't think you have to open it first. I was just curious.
No, I'm just making sure it's empty for myself.
Okay.
I would like some almond fudge, please.
You open it, and there is a plate of almond fudge. It's not bad. It's not Ambient quality, but it's not bad.
It's not. It's like, well, it's not ambient quality, but considering, it's opening a door, it's saying something opening a door, I'm cool with it.
I think that's probably stretching the amount of prepared food you can make. Let me try something. I would like a chocolate cake. Opens it and then starts pulling out the cold necessary ingredients. And 1 minute she's putting down a bottle of milk, turns away, and you look back, and there's the dry ingredients, the flour, the cocoa, etc. And they hadn't been there a second ago. See what I mean?
All right. Yeah.
And there's also dining room, which there's apparently 2 of those. There's one for I'm just sitting down for food, and one is I am having a dinner. And there is also larger than the room that Barnabas has at Fort Cupcake, because obviously they are limited by space. This one, not so much. There's very much enough bed for Barnabas and Cherie to share. But he's got a desk, bookshelf, a comfy chair to sit and read in if he wants to. Weapons rack for his various weapons. Footlocker for the rest.
Oh, this is nice.
And Alisaie and Remy, they've taken pretty much the shorter corridor, but there's what appears to be some kind of game room or music room or something, someplace where you can just sit around and take in your hobbies, so to speak. One shrine room that is largely for Paylor because of you guys, but there's a little bit in the corner that's rather pinker and sparklier than the bit for Paylor and the bit for Tritherian, which, according to a little plaque, is if you want to thank your patron, please leave a treat. And towards the end, probably the larger bedroom in the house, but fur features a fair bit, just because that's Alisaie's idea of a bedroom. And it's a little cooler here than in the rest of the house, but that just gives the excuse to snuggle up under the furs with Alisaie. But beyond that, it's pretty much a larger version of the Fort Cupcake bedroom that you guys share. Well, let's meet back in the sitting room and get reports from everybody, I guess. I mean, wow. Okay.
Definitely a big place.
There's one more thing she does, because she sees that door wasn't there when you got into the bedroom, but you come out of the bedroom and there's a door. Click. Eep. This one's glass-walled, high glass ceilings. This is someplace Alisaie can fly. Okay, I had just been wishing for that, so that tells us something about this place.
Yeah, it really does have everything.
And there's a few benches for sitting around on ground level if you just want to watch her go through her paces, apparently. Let's find the rest of them before they get lost in here.
All right. Out of character, probably only going to make sense to the older people, but when you said, oh, this place has everything, my brain immediately goes, wow, the new Oldsmobiles are in early this year.
You.
In any case, with Hazel probably having to drag Clarity out of AO3, out of the AO3 library, you all do meet back up in... Because that's the thing, the main difference between the front room of this place and the front room at Fort Cupcake is that the kitchen is not attached. So there's a bit more fireplace room, room for various of you who are not built to humanoid standard to have a comfortable place to sit. Beat back up.
I just Princess carried Clarity out of there if she's got a book. I'm just, okay, you know what? I give up. We're leaving.
She's got like a cat and a book, just sort of juggling them.
Well, if you're being princess carried, the cat is lying on your lap and you just got book.
Hi, everybody. This is Jagaimo.
Okay. What?
It means potato.
Okay. That's not what I was confused about, but thank
We
you.
found a menagerie.
You found a what? Oh my...
A menagerie.
No, I heard you. Okay, what else did you find besides apparently a library? Because you did not have that book when you walked down that... Well, you were dragged down
No, we
that
didn't just find one library. We found 3.
Okay.
I have so many new friends.
Is she adorable? I'm just still carrying her this whole time.
We found a shrine area where you can leave some... There's a spot where you can leave a treat for your patron if you want to, by the way.
Oh, nice.
And sort of a room where I guess Darvin and I can practice instruments, or we can do various play things, and a spot where I can...
Or have a rap battle.
And a spot where I can actually just fly.
That's cool.
Wow.
We found a garden. What
Yeah,
else did we
out of character.
Conservatory.
Yeah, conservatory greenhouse
Oh,
kind of thing.
Yeah, we found a greenhouse type thing.
Training room,
Oh, yeah, and
riding,
the training room.
stable and
for-
riding.
Full riding stable.
Yes.
Looks over.
With
We
the
found-
ring and everything.
We found us the kitchen, which is made for some serious cooking, as well as a refrigerator that will, if you ask for it, it will produce the food or at least the ingredients to make the food.
It's pretty cool.
Why do I have this thing?
I don't know. Why are you
That's
gonna
cool.
eat this?
And I guess it just, like, stays there and is there until I open a door to it? Because the flying room wasn't there until I realized I wanted one, and then all of a sudden there it was.
I'm pretty sure that's how this place works.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a plane of reality all onto its own, and it responds to your commands. I think it's your house now.
I have surreal estate.
Yes! Now you don't have to worry about any kind of settling anywhere. I mean, you can. You can still do everything you wanted, but now you have double. And you can adventure all you want with this.
Looks at Remy.
Home away from home.
Looks at Remy. You know, I know that we're married and everything, so it feels a little bit stupid to be asking this now, but do you want to move in with me?
Yes. You're more talking about this place, right?
Yeah, well,
Then yes.
well, as long as, I mean, let me know if you think it needs anything else, I guess.
I mean, it seems like we might just have to think it.
I mean,
I might just have to think, and I
yeah,
don't
so
know
I
if it
was gonna
listens
say,
to the
might
rest of
only
you.
respond to Alisaie.
Pretty
I mean,
handy.
thank you for thinking of libraries.
Thank you.
I like them too, you know, but yeah, you're very welcome. I am the keymaster and the gatekeeper. Okay.
I call that a win.
Okay. Yeah. And everybody's okay with. I'm assuming I thought of bedrooms for everybody,
Yes.
Yep.
and they're all up
Oh,
to.
he's one of us. Yeah.
They're all up to standard, right?
Yeah.
More than.
Yeah.
Double, yep.
I'm
More-
just making sure, because
Look, did I notice any extra rooms for Darwin and Faraday? Or...
not yet.
We still have to find any of the possible broom closets for reasons.
Snogging.
What's using a room closet for that?
Hazel is a small group.
Some things.
A small group of what sort of transparent, radiant energy, yellow, white. Ava in particular will recognize the help, the staff, all of them gathered around Hazel with this look like. It's a ghast. It's the kind of look that Ava used to get the times when she might attempt to clean up after herself, because that's their job. But Hazel is just surrounded by
What the?
glowing, transparent people all looking at her like, "Excuse you?" when she mentions broom closets.
Non-standard use case. I have zero plans
Mm-hmm.
of hijacking anyone else's job.
I think that's a no to the broom closets because I don't know if they use actual brooms. You have closets in your room.
Oh boy. I need to find several more books then.
Oh god.
I'm not asking. I don't want to know.
No.
I still think we should stay out our time at the Riddler stump, if for no other
Yeah.
reason than to say goodbye to the cats.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if we're
Absolutely.
staying here in another couple of days. Actually, there's a thought. If we have this, and we can apparently stay here, and other living things can apparently stay here when we're not here, couldn't we have Alexi lend?
Hmm.
I mean, you could probably leave Cupcake here. I'm not saying that about Flitty or Michigan because Flitty and Michigan just will not. Darn right, I'm staying with you. I am helping being the common sense. Yes, and you do a wonderful
Yes,
job.
you are.
But we could stand for a bit less ferret. If only because we don't want the poor thing to get hurt.
Rummaging, finding it.
Yeah, the nudges out of the scarf and onto the reaching hand and arms.
We can keep you safe here, okay?
I guess that's part of why we have a menagerie.
I want to see it.
Well, I probably shouldn't I? It's mine, apparently. Alright, full tour, and probably by the time we're done that, it'll be about time to pick up Professor August. I guess this is a kinder way of killing a couple of hours to our wallets, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
More than likely, yeah.
I will get
Back
used
to
to
the
this
library, then?
eventually. I just want everybody to show me the bits I haven't seen yet.
Well,
If we have a
library first, library first, library first.
Actually, I was going to the first of all, I was going to the menagerie first because I want to drop off Cupcake. But a thought occurred to me: if we have a stable and a large enough riding ring, Legolas.
It's true.
Oh. Oh boy.
And they will live in fear of our portable flying assault moose.
To be fair, this is probably the most you've seen Alisaie smile in days. So
We are definitely going to have to take the other key, to go get legs back.
The kids are probably gonna be a bit sad, but
to be fair, at least Legs will stop eating them at a house and home.
fair.
Hey, isn't that also interesting? I have the key that goes places, you have the key that makes places.
Yoki goes to one place. But yeah, I suppose that's true.
Both our keys go to a place. One is a place that is, and the other is a place that can be.
See? Still works!
And on that note, we are pretty exactly at that time, in point of fact. And so, yeah, I figured by the time we got out of the Explorer Society, we weren't going to have the time to deal with Professor August. So, when we come back in 2 weeks' time, we'll actually speak to Professor August. And who knows, maybe by then, we'll be able to make a room in this place for Darwin. Either way, let's see you in 2 weeks.